All right, this is Hot Rod Bob. You got gas. I'm hanging in here for just a little bit. Our guests and co-host Randy Cardoon will be joining us soon. Hang in there. We're going to be doing some stuff for you. I'm going to let you look at the background for it. And these are the people that help bring gas to you every morning at 11 a.m. Valley Head Service, Irwindale Drag Strip, Irwindale Speedway, Tucker Tire, Beach Underwriting Motorsports, Moon Eyes, and Service Tech. So we'll be going live in just a little bit with our guests tonight. So stick with us. We get ready to rock and roll and talk about a great new Ford show coming your way. Sneaking a mongoose. Let's see. I'll figure this out. Oh, let me just be a few minutes. Thanks for bearing with us. I started a little bit early just to make sure that I had everything ready to go when the people start to tune in and when our guests come on. Bear with us here. We'll be going live in just a few minutes. We'll experiment with some stuff here. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got gas, the evening edition of gas. So we'll be doing this in just a little bit. Randy Cardoon will be joining us. Stacy Bertram, DM, will be here as well. Have him joining us. Damien's going to be with us live. Although, if you're watching this, you're going to be watching this recorded. Imagine that. So we're going live to show this to you recorded later. Technology. Isn't that a wonderful thing? All right, so I'm waiting for participants to come in, and we'll be on with the show in just a little bit. Bear with us. Stick with me. It's well about 2 minutes before showtime. Waiting for a couple of people to log in, and we'll start the conversations going. Right, gas with Randy Cardoon, Hot Rod Bob, Stacy Bertram, and DM. He's going to be with us in just a moment. We'll be talking about the new SoCal Ford Festival. It's going to be coming your way at Irwindale Drag Strip. It'll be a great new adventure for Ford owners. Now, I'll give you some history of the show. It's going to be the first time at Irwindale. And we'll talk about some other things coming up, including a cruise this weekend. That's right, May 2nd, 4 p.m., cruising around Ventura County with the Coachman Car Club. So it's going to be an evening and afternoon of great fun this May 2nd. And then we'll talk about the great Ford show coming up. It'll be the SoCal Ford Festival. Now, some of you may have known the Ford show as the Knott's Berry Farm Fabulous Ford Show. That's going to change just a little bit. We'll tell you all about that. Just wait for people to log in with us. About 1 more minute to go. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and welcome to GAAS. And if you're watching this, you're a gasaholic. Thank you. All right, so bear with us for just a little bit as we wait for the rest of the crew to come on in and the guests as well. I'm back. Let's see. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Hot Rod Bob, and you've got GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene. And here's our sponsors for you. We're going to switch over to the live feed with our cast of characters. Randy Cardoon from KNX 1070 Radio and Talking About Cars. DM, you're down at the bottom.
Yes,
David
I am.
And Stacy is here now.
Hello.
So we got our own version of Hollywood Squares going on right now. It is great. We're having fun. Randy and I have already done a couple of shows this way. You're going to see them on Talking About Cars, YouTube, Patreon, and a whole host of other places, including
Two Tired Guys.
Two Tired Guys Productions. Here we are. We are your Two Tired Guys. So we've got a new project coming up and a new event for Ford owners only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a
I'm
Mopar
sorry.
guy. What can I say? See, I'm bilingual with
See you
cars.
later, Andy.
Yeah. See, I'm bilingual. I got Ford, Chevys, and Mopars. It's it's all in the family to me. All right, Stacey, David, I'll let you guys figure out who's going to start first and tell us about this great new event coming up at Irwindale Drag Strip.
I was going to say, I used to have a Duster like that Mongoose version right behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a 74.
Yeah, there you go. That's one of those cars. It's on my list of I'd like to have it someday, but I can't afford the one I'd want, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well.
Did you just say you wanted to own a Duster?
Yeah. I'd love a 340 Duster or Demon.
Preferably the Demon. You could totally get one with a 340 6-pack.
Yeah, right. Yeah, mortgage my house and I can do it. Yeah. But then we have to figure out where to put it. And right now we're stuffed. We've got 6, 7 cars, so we're kind of full. All right, so tell us about this great SoCal Ford Festival that's coming up.
The SoCal Ford Festival. I guess I'll go first on this one.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when we mentioned this on Facebook, a lot of people were initially thinking that this was going to be Fabulous Fords, just at a different location. But I want to dispel all of that right now. This is going to be something completely different from what you're used to at Knott's Berry Farm or at the Lone Show at Anaheim Stadium. This is a completely new event that is going to be put on in conjunction with the Ford Car Club Council and Irwindale Speedway. The show was originally scheduled to take place on June 14th, but with everything that happened, we were in touch with the Speedway and they were kind enough to reschedule this event to October 11th, and that's Sunday.
Okay. So what can they expect? Yeah, what can they expect for this? What is the show going to be that makes it different from the old Knott show?
Well, the old Knott show was pretty much just a parking lot full of cars and a grassy area that had some featured cars and some people that got up on the stage and talked a lot, including some interviews and one of the tired guys I know. Doing some interviews on stage and streaming video and stuff. What makes it different is we're still going to have the car show part, but we're going to incorporate one of the things that we had at the Anaheim show, as well as a new feature that we've never had anywhere. And that new feature is drag racing.
All right.
So that's right. You can get your old grudge style racing on, run what you brung. No crying to your mama when it's all done, and have some fun out there. You'll be able to, as long as your car passes muster, you'll be able to drag race all day.
All right. So that'll be good. And now, are you going to use the oval for some tire smoking spin outs and drifting?
Unfortunately, no. But what we're hoping to do is to be able to get a couple of drift drivers and use the burnout box that's there, just above the drag strip.
Correct.
We were there, Stacy and I, for a planning meeting with the guys at Irwindale. And we actually saw an event that was going on there and saw the drift drivers utilizing it. And it was really awesome to see that. They have bleachers set up and people can go up there and watch it. And the drivers just have a good time doing what they do best, smoking tires.
Good. All right. So it's going to be happening. Stacy, what part are you going to take of this? Because you and I worked together last time at Anaheim and at the Knott show. How are you going to be involved?
Well, Bob, this time, can you hear me, Bob?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This time, we're going to be kind of scaled down in the way of that we were doing a lot of stuff on stage before and bringing celebrities up there, but this time we're not going to have that. We're not going to have a main stage per se, but what we will do is have have people interviewed individually out in the show area and get some of the sponsors interviewed and stuff like that, and just kind of make it more cohesive in that manner. Because my co-host, my friend who has the silver fox hair there, he is going to be announcing the drag racing that's going to be going on for most of the day there at Irwindale Speedway, because that's his thing, right? So
Right.
why not put the number one guy in the number one spot? So he won't be with me when I'm doing these interviews, but I hope you're going to be with me in spirit, Bob.
Yes.
I'm going to try and bring out my inner Bob Beck to interview with these people, and have a good time with it. So it's going to be neat because the drag racing is going to go on, and it's going to be an attraction for the whole family to enjoy that. They're going to get professional broadcasting from you guys. The track is meticulously maintained, and all the safety crew and everything that the track is taking care of it. It's not on us. It's whatever the rules are for the track takes care of it. And the emergency systems, all that stuff, that's all done by the track.
All right. So what we're going to have is basically NHRA safety rules. So for those of you that are thinking about coming out and running your car, you've got to pass a minimum safety check. Double return springs on whatever system you've got on your car, whether it's carburetor or fuel injected, safe tires. You've got to have seat belts. And depending on the speed your car is going to be traveling or estimated to travel, you're going to need a helmet and possibly a fire jacket. Now, if you're not breaking out a race car, don't worry about the fire jacket so much. But a good Mustang, you're going to at least need a helmet. So think about that before you come out. We don't have helmet rentals at the track. You've got to have not a DOT helmet. It's got to be an SFI approved helmet. So a DOT helmet is not race approved. That's only for street identification. When you go down, the head stays in one piece on a motorcycle. But for racing, you need a regular NHRA legal helmet. You can find out those rules on the NHRA website. So if you come out with it,
What you're saying is you can't just take the motorcycle helmet you usually drive around in and bring that and wear that.
Not if it's just DOT certified. Now, there are motorcycle helmets that are not just DOT certified. They've got the SFI certification as well. And that means that the interior of it is somewhat flame-proof. It has a higher safety rating. And that's what we're looking at. So, make sure you haven't got just especially the skid lids that they put on that look like a hat. It's not going to make it. Not even going to come close.
No.
So
those won't work.
And if you've got questions, hopefully this quarantine gets lifted soon. You can come out on a Thursday night for our normal test and tune nights. You can talk to our tech people. They can pre-tech your vehicle and tell you what you need and check your helmet as well. And that's something we can do any Thursday night. It's a $10 spectator fee to come on in, and you can talk to our tech guys and check things out beforehand. And you'll have plenty of time to practice if you want. Thursday nights under the lights at Irwindale. So you can come out and play and practice with your car, get an idea of what the track is going to be like, and take a look at the drift box. I call it a donut box because that's what everybody does. They sit there and hang donuts. So it's a donut box. So we have drifting and drags and donuts and drags at Irwindale.
Real quick, Bob, for those of us who actually are races, what type of minimum Snell rating are we looking for the helmets?
You'd have to look on the NHRA website. That I don't know. I try to stay away from the technical things like that because I don't want to give out any misinformation. But it can't just be a DOT helmet. And you go into a store now, you can buy a DOT helmet that makes it legal for street. That is not legal on a racetrack. And the reason is, and I don't understand why you just spend a couple of bucks more and you get a real safe helmet. But people go with the DOT helmet because that's the minimum requirement. And I don't know if you've got a minimum requirement hit or not. That's up to you. To me, it's go for the extra. And I've always been that way. I've always had a race spec helmet when I was driving because it just didn't make any sense. Not that I've got much of a brain, but I wanted to protect what I had. I got very little to spare.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Stacy and I both have at least 2 different helmets that we've had over our racing years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Stacy should be fine if it's an SCCA approved or legal helmet.
yeah, the SN Schnell 95, I think
Snell.
is, yeah, I think that's what mine is. No,
Yeah,
but Randy, you were talking about walking away because we were talking about an all Ford event earlier. Well, I want you to know, Randy, I want you to know that the Ford Motor Company is going to be there once again, supporting us with another Arrive and Drive event. So
Really?
you can show up, sign a piece of paper, and then go on a little test drive in a new Ford pickup.
I'm sorry, did you
New
just say
Ford
sign
car.
a pacemaker? Is that what you just said? I would probably need that after that, I believe. Yes.
No, I think she meant a piece of paper.
Oh, piece of paper.
Paper, yes.
Okay.
Sign the release your life away,
That's
and you
right.
can get into a Ford and see how it compares to that other brand you drive.
Do they let us drive or are we driven?
No, you get to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a similar event for the first time at the Anaheim show.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it was really awesome. It was very popular, and they booked it up within a couple of hours during the show.
Wow.
They booked it up.
Yeah, the Ford Motor Company was very happy with the results of our presentation that we had at Anaheim Stadium, and they were allowed to do it there. And so they have agreed to do it with us again, and we're going to be doing it there at Irwindale. So that's 3 things, right? Car show,
Yeah.
drag racing, Arrive and Drive, and
Ride
then
and drive, ride and drive.
Ride and Drive. And then we have all of our vendors and stuff, and our huge sponsor trailers and stuff like that are going to be showing up as well. So you guys can talk to manufacturers and maybe find some parts that are coming. Maybe they weren't for your car yet, but now they're coming, or you can request, or you can talk to these people and get some information, some stuff that you just can't do over text and messages and emails and stuff like that. You get to talk to them face to face and feel and touch the parts. And
Touchy feeling. I like that. Yes.
So
And
let me be Randy Downer here.
oh no.
Wah, wah, wah. Let me ask about.
Wait, let me turn on my fan so I can drown you out.
Thank you. But COVID-19. So this all assumes, of course, that this whole pandemic thing is behind us and all that. Is there like a drop dead date that this thing has to be cleared before the event will actually go on or not go on, as far as the decision time?
Well, we're looking at opening registration in late July, early August.
Okay.
So we're hoping that by that time, the social distancing guidelines are relaxed a little bit. People can go out and mingle and get out in the sun, and they're not being cooped up and suffering from cabin fever and ready to strangle their partners and stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Or turning into zombies, that type of thing. Yeah, we're really enthusiastic with that. Part of the reason why we had the reschedule is because of course, how things have been dragged out. So we had to do something, because even if we opened up if LA County lifts their restrictions on May 15th, then, that's not going to be enough time to sign people up for the show.
Okay.
So we're hopeful that it'll go forward.
yeah, at this point, I think that's a good idea. In the way things are going, I know here in Ventura County, where I am, the numbers are really low and going down even lower. So it's a good sign. And I know some of the shows, the Pismo show is back on, and others, they've rescheduled them for later in the year, like you have done. A lot of shows are going to September, October. We may see some move into November. But at this point, the regular show season is done. Most of them have canceled or rescheduled. And some have even rescheduled for next year. I'm glad you were able to get in on this year so we can have some Ford fun. And, Peg's already got me cleaning up her Ford, and I might even bring my Ford out this time. Because
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
All
we'll have
right.
2 Fords out there. So we'll give it a try. Both are almost the same color, so they might get mistaken for each other.
Now, just to defend my honor, Your Honor.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, try.
When it comes to Fords,
Yeah.
I have owned Fords before. I did have a Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, so back in the 80s. I put a story up on the Talking About Cars Facebook page about how I almost owned a 1967 Ford Mustang lime green. Almost. But I was young and was $200 shy because the local car dealership wanted to sell it for like $1,400, and I only had $1,200. And I tried to get my dad to come up with the extra $200, and he said no. And it was a fastback. I was this close to getting it. And then when I didn't get it, I ended up buying a Chevy Malibu, and my trip to the dark side went.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
lots of cookies.
It went
At
even
least you
darker.
tried.
He's driving one of those Mopars now. Although you got to go back in history, because the Mopar has a direct connection to Ford. After all, it was the Dodge brothers that were building the motors and chassis for the Model T.
Yep.
That's right.
So, you know, you got to go back in history, and they're all intertwined. They're all related one way or another.
What's the old saying, Bob? Mopar or no car.
Or move over, Plymouth are racing.
Well,
yep.
I own
Many old parts are
and a
listed.
Pontiac, so
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it works on your Pontiac too.
Yeah.
But you know, we get into that, and you know, we love them. In our case, Peg and I both have Fords as well, so we'll be bringing at least one of them down, possibly two, if I can convince myself to drive the 57.
Well, I hope so.
Sure,
I might do it. It hasn't been to a show. It hasn't been out of the garage in 6 months or longer, Randy. Whenever we were at the last show,
we scraped the bottom trying to get out of the gas station. Yeah, I remember.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh.
My son lowered it just a little bit. And it doesn't like driveways or those things where they put gasoline in the tanks at the gas stations. Those are too tall. So but we'll try and get it out there. We'll see.
That sounds like my first 66 Mustang. It was that low.
Yeah. Well, this is a 57 Fairlane. And it's great. And he put, to add insult to injury, he put cutouts on it. And they're even lower. So
it sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, but, and we got a nice Y block in it. It's all Ford all the way. So we're working on that. I'll see how much work I can get done on that.
Well, luckily, Bob, Irwindale doesn't have any huge speed bumps that I can remember, right?
No, and Peg's car clears everything anyway. So might bring Peg's Ford. Well, probably bring Peg's 46 Ford back out again.
You gonna take it down the track?
Don't. It's up to her. It's her car. She might, just to see how slow it'll go. I think our clocks will read that slow, but it's a plug-in.
We're pretty enterprising guys. I think we can rig up a sundial.
Yeah, a little egg timer or something like that. We can do it.
There you go.
All right, so David, what are the dates of the show again for everybody?
The date of the show is Sunday, October 11th, 2020.
The
Irwindale Speedway.
SoCal Ford Festival is what we're calling this.
That's going to be great. Yeah, so the Fabulous Ford show is gone as far as we know at this point in time.
Just for this year, we want to get this show under our belt first, and see about scouting some potential locations where we can revive Fabulous Fords.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't written it off.
All right. No chance of just renaming the show at Irwindale Fabulous Fords.
Well, we could actually have Fabulous Fords at Irwindale. The only thing is it would have to be something, it would have to be scaled down a little bit. And if we were going to keep the traditional format that we have at Fabulous Fords, then some of the things that we're going to be offering at the SoCal Ford Festival, we wouldn't be able to have, like the ride and drive and possibly even the drag racing itself, because we would need that area to just fill it up with Fords, Mercurys, Lincolns, and other hot rods and stuff. But, if we wanted to vary it a little bit and have some of the elements from SoCal Ford Festival into Fabulous Fords like we had at the Anaheim show, then there's no reason why we couldn't get, 1,200-1,300 cars there.
One of the benefits, too, about being at Irwindale is Irwindale Speedway and Drag Strip are sponsored by Sunrise Ford, one of the larger dealers down on the Riverside.
Yes, sir.
In the Inland Empire area.
Yep. And it's if we had drag racing, it's out in a nice remote area where only the squirrels, chipmunks, and scorpions will hear you.
That's true. And the people that sit there and listen at their homes miles away. But we hear about those guys all the time. All right, so that's great. anything else new and exciting happening with the Ford Council?
No, unfortunately, we haven't had any in-person meetings, of course, because of the lockdown and everything. We're actually looking at the possibility of having something over Zoom, so we can at least see how everybody's doing. But I send out periodic emails to everybody just to let them know that we're still here and we're still moving forward with the planning and everything. And I meet with the board every couple of weeks just to see what's going on and check in with everybody to see how they're doing.
All right, great. All right, I just got a note from Zoom. They're not going to cut us off.
Sweet.
So we're fine.
I see that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow, you've been upgraded.
Yeah. Now, Randy and I were talking about now.
This where you hit the OK part?
I guess. I don't know. I don't see an OK button, but we're going
It was there and it went away.
Yeah, I hit the OK.
As long as somebody did.
I did. I made sure of it. We did
I
it.
did as well. So
Okay, so we're going for it. Now, the other thing that Randy and I were going to be talking about tonight, you're welcome to stay with us on this, is the cruise nights that are coming up, the car owner virus cruises that are coming up. And we've got one this weekend. Randy and I were on one last weekend. There's one coming up for the Ventura County area, starting in Thousand Oaks on May 2nd at 4 p.m. It's going to cruise throughout the Ventura County area. It's about a 100-mile cruise for anyone that wants to get involved. You can go on the Coachman Car Club page on Facebook and check it out and get the information on that, or contact me via Facebook, and I will send you the link to the show. You're welcome to join. Randy and I were at the car owner virus cruise this last weekend. There was a little over 100 cars, and we managed to be the last cars to finish. It was
yes.
Yes. We it can't be first. You might as well be sure you're last. And we were last. We were able to make every stoplight there was. So we ended up being the last ones to finish, and it was kind of interesting. There were some great cars out there that got a lot of publicity, I guess, from it, with a lot of photographs on Facebook regarding this cruise. A lot of those people are going to be out for this one. The Coachman Car Club out of Ventura or Oxnard are putting this one on, and it promises to be a big one. They're also the ones that do the annual Collector Car Appreciation Day show, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not, normally in July, but we'll see. That's on hold at this point. A lot of shows are doing that. But May 4th or 2nd, come on out, join us. We're starting out in Thousand Oaks, going to cruise all the way around Ventura County, and it should be a lot of fun. We're not sure yet where we're going to start. We may drive to Thousand Oaks and start at the beginning, or wait for you to pass us here in Oxnard.
Awesome. The bad thing about May the 4th is that's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be, yeah, okay. This will be the 2nd, so it gives you 2 days of warning.
There you go.
Right.
Anyway, all right, hey, thank you guys for being with us today. Randy, what do you got going?
Well, of course, talking about cars, the new edition, number 194, coming up with our interview as we talk to Cold War Motors Scott Newstead in Alberta, Canada. He gives us an update on his 1960 Plymouth build and all sorts of fun stuff, and why somehow he's not a big convertible guy. We find that out. Yeah, he's
Canada convertibles. What, they go together, right?
Yeah, no. So anyway, you could listen to that on radio.com, knx1070.com, and that starts tomorrow, Thursday morning, April 30th. So check that out, or if you're listening to this after April 30th, run over there right now, and I suggest binging.
Yes, there we go. All right, then we'll have the video version of that interview as well on Patreon.
Yes, eventually.
Eventually, Patreon. We'll have it on YouTube. We'll put it back up here on Facebook so people can see it back up. It was never on Facebook, so we're going to put it on Facebook. And for those of you that are used to seeing GAAS live, you're going to have to wait for the order to get to you. We're doing this, recording it, and once I save it, then I'll post it. So we're not going to get the comments on air as we normally do during a regular GAAS broadcast. So we're going to Zoom. That seems to be the format that a lot of people are using. Hope you like it. We're going to work it out a little bit more, get some backdrops, not just the wall in my office and such, and the wall in Randy's office. We got to get our green screen to get things going. But right now, if I try and do a green screen, I'll show you what happens. And
we lose you, Bob. Bye.
That's what happens. I become the partial invisible man.
Your face is gone.
Yes.
Oh, your
So
eyes are red and
Yeah.
black and white.
this is the one my wife likes.
He's really got
Oh.
gas.
Yeah, he really does. Holy cow, it's like supernatural all over again.
Oh, that's why I don't have a green screen.
Okay.
Wow.
No, Bob, don't do that.
Don't do that. I can't do that. So we won't do that. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning into GAAS, the evening edition, and it'll be on Facebook in just a little bit. But then again, if you're watching this, you already know that. Damon, Stacy, thank you very much. Randy, great seeing you again. Haven't seen you in a long time. What was it yesterday?
It's been hours, Bob.
It's been hours at least. Yeah. Okay.
We lasted our last show. Yeah.
All right. Stay safe. Wear your masks and go into the bank. Give them a note saying you're going to try and make a deposit. Watch their expression because until they read it, you never. Anyway, stay safe, folks. Have a great day. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got GAAS, the evening edition. Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Oh, no,
Bye.
thank you. Thank you.